A lot of new info has been dropped for the future of Ark during this year's Extra Life event, even though the Extra Life, when it was announced, wasn't actually getting people hyped and people were actually really upset about it. It ended up going really well. A lot of money was raised and a lot of new information was given to us, the players, for the future of Ark. Ark Ascended Lost Colony is actually going to change the flow of Ark that we are used to. Like everything we know about Ark and the way the game flows is going to be totally shifted with Lost Colony. That being said, which is a good thing, it is behind a paywall. So to experience this new era of Ark, you have to buy into Lost Colony. Even I haven't bought into Lost Colony yet. We received information that it's going to be new cutscene styles with CGI sequencing and performance capture animations in-game. These will actually be freaking fire, especially with the way Ark is going when it comes to more story driven. We know the biggest talk that everything we're talking about is Ark 2, Ark 2. We know Ark 2 is going to be a story driven game, and getting a little glimpse of that now and allowing them to actually get better at doing it before we go into Ark 2 is going to always be a good thing. One thing that was mentioned that I didn't really fully grasp was in-game real-time sequencing to go with some of these cutscenes. Something like the Ragnarok volcano, like when it erupts and everyone in the map gets to see it at the same time. That's what I'm thinking. But I'm still weirded out by the idea of it being a real time. Like if we're on a capped 70 player server and there's like 5 to 6 players doing several different triggers for these real time events, what's going to happen? Is the server going to be overloaded? How is this going to affect every other player on the map? And how many times? If people go there every 5 minutes to do this cave or whatever it is that triggers these live events, is everyone going to have to sit through that every single time? Or are we going to do something where we're going to instance it so only the player who actually triggers it is going to see it, which is going to make it a little bit more manageable? I'm really unsure how they want to implement that, especially if you want to go server wide with it. But at the end of the day, overall, mocap and animated cutscenes are going to be cool. I feel like it's going to put Ark on that level where we're talking about games like Grand Theft Auto, Cyberpunk. It's going to put a story game like Ark that has the open world and the adventure and world building. It's going to finally put us in that serious conversation, because I did always feel like one thing that Ark lacked was the depth in the story, the depth in the actual cutscenes. Sometimes we need to slow the game down and explain things in depth. Give people like instructions. Ark was very bad at giving instructions. Back in the day when you started Ark, there was no guide. You just had to go out there and figure it out and scrape any knowledge you could get. So if we have something that sits you down and explains a cave or explains the lore, and it's not just explorer notes or things like Helena, it's going to be a lot different, especially when you're seeing a physical avatar coming at you and explaining these things. It actually draws you in, and it's always going to be good for player retention. Because at the end of the day, gamers are getting lazy. We don't want to read everything. Let us get some audio with some good visuals with it, and then we're gonna be happy. I do feel like people really like the cutscenes when it comes to Bob's Tall Tales. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of like in-game real-time events and how it's going to affect the whole player base on live servers, or are they going to just limit it down to maybe single player? But single player has a lot of problems that they're going to have to address if that's the plan. We also got information about NPC camps. They will literally also be a thing, which is actually kind of fine. Let me not lie. Look, I know I might be glazing right now, but it's true. When I think about gaming, when I think about open world survival craft gaming, I think of games like Conan, I think of games like Dune Awakening, and even Once Human and other games in that title, DayZ, Rust. All these games, one of the biggest things is monuments, landmarks, going places and raiding places to get special gear with all the RNG, and we don't know what's going to spawn in boxes or containers or on the enemies that we kill. But having NPC camps is going to give us access to all of that, and it's going to make Ark a lot more competitive because players are going to have somewhere to go. Right now, the only places to go in Ark is, oh, I'm going for a metal run, or I'm going for a meat run, or I'm going for a fish run, or I'm going for a wood run, or I'm going for a rock run, or I need some flint, or I need some oil. That's all we do. It's just farming. Right now, Ark is a glorified farming simulator. Like, think of it. You can find babies in the wild. Babies are easier to raise. There's easier methods of taming things and everything. So it's basically just a glorified farming simulator. But with this, there's going to be things to do where you can still farm, but you can farm in a cooler way with more danger. I feel like a lot of players in Ark, especially PvE players, are missing out on that little bit of like violence. You feel me? Like there's violence. We need violence. And when you get this kind of violence where it's controlled, it resets the PvE mindset. It adds that little flavor, because we need flavor. Look, when you're playing PvE and you've got everything, you got your tech base and all of that, bro, it's like it's too easy at that point. So to have things like this that might actually also scale with your player base and where you are in your progression is going to be awesome. And then when we look at it on the PvP side, it's like, hey, look, PvP players can go to this place and they know that they're definitely gonna find PvP PvP here, which might actually alleviate the strain from PvP at metal nodes, gas nodes, PvE on the random. People are going to be focusing on these locations. More players can get involved with PvP without actually having to be fearful of their lives, even just leaving their base, because more people are going to be at these locations, and those locations become hotspots, making the rest of the map a little bit safer, you know? So I feel like it's going to be good for PvE and good for PvP. I'm not sure if I was saying PvE all that time, but you guys know what I meant. I meant PvP, you feel me? Right now, there's a conversation about what Ark is good for which. Oh, Ark Ascended is good for only PvE players. If you want perfect PvE, yeah, go play ASA. If you want PvP, you want all that good stuff, go play Ark Evolved. And if we can get this and we can make it happen, right? It could make ASA the home for PvP and PvE, meaning a lot of the players who are still on Evolve will actually migrate over because there's a reason to. Right now, there's no reason to, especially if you're a PvP player, to migrate over because the game is unfinished, all the maps aren't there, there's so many things that kind of break the PvP system. But if you add something new, fresh, that we haven't done before in Ark, it's like, hey bro, let me get a taste. Along with all this Lost Colony news, we know that the new Ocedon is actually coming early, ahead of Lost Colony. This is one of the things I'm like, I don't agree with that. I feel like when you do all these early things, all these early bird things, it's actually destroying some of the hype and uniqueness of certain things. Like, we get this thing now and it's like, yeah, it's great, it's cool, but we got it already. When we see Lost Colony and we see them, we're like, we already have it though. Like, why would we already got it? Like, I feel like things like that kill certain games. Like, even if we look at games like Dune Awakening, the fact that before the game came out to the public, we had every streamer and their dog and their grandma and their freaking tree playing that game. No one cared anymore. They saw all the content. They experienced the content through other people's eyes. They don't need to go play it in them. Like, they don't need to play it themselves. They don't need to go buy the pack. Like, they don't need to do any of those because they played it themselves. Those are one of the things that kill things, releasing things too early because you're giving too much away. And the thing is, I feel like it's a really annoying because we see this past just gaming. This is something that we see in the movie culture as well. We get a freaking trailer that gives you the whole movie. Why do I go need to go pay $25 to the cinema and pay $150 for a little bit of popcorn if I already seen the whole movie in the 5-minute trailer you gave me? You give me, the first 5 minutes? Bro, I've seen the whole movie, gang. Thank you for I don't need to see the movie no more. I'll wait for the reviews. Like, things like that really wreck the expectations. You're meant to give everything at one go and explode people's brains, not drip feed. Drip feeding is not the best, not all the time, especially when it's something like a big map like this, a new map, something never seen before. You don't drip feed that content to the audience. You give them something else, appease them with something else. So then that thing is still massive. It is still crazy and so big that their minds are going to be exploded. Not, you already have the armor, you already have the new dinos, you already have this, you already have that. Now we have the Ocedon, we have all these things. Like, what more are we waiting for? We have the templates, we have all of this. What are we waiting for? Like, this is not big anymore because you give too much things away way before it was time for it. They did allude to the Ocedon having variants, kind of like the Wyverns do. A lot of people are suggesting that they are variants to counter each of the Titans, which is actually not a bad idea. I'm actually like looking at it like, it makes sense, as they were made as a freaking probably a countermeasure for the Titans, which means that they should have variants that are each skilled enough for each Titan. And maybe we might see an Apex version of this creature where it's like an Apex. Imagine like there's an alpha version that you can tame for like the bigger stuff. Like, it's there's so much things they can do with it. So I do think it's nice. The only thing I'm not too sure about is I think everyone's already saying it. The freaking design. The design is way too much like the Megapithecus, and I'm not like the happiest about it, but they did make some changes to it, and it's gonna have probably way different skills, which is gonna be newish and is going to be palatable enough, but they could have gone a lot like better with the design. Bro, they could have made it look like a bigger Ferox, bro. Give it another 2 arms. I don't know, bro. Give it 4 legs, bro. Like, I don't know. Give it wings. I don't know. Like, do something that makes it different, but they didn't. So that's the only pain point I do have with the design. But variant is always going to be a win because when we look at things like the Wyverns are one of the most loved creatures in Ark, and there's so many variants. It's like 6 variants because we have the regular Wyverns, and then we have the Blood Wyvern, tropical wyvern, and all those kind of things. So there, all those variants are things that people love. We have the zombie wyvern as well. Let me not forget that one. So those are things that we love because there's so many variants and they all have different class abilities, which is really cool. So when we see this with the Ocedon, it might just make it that little bit extra special. And that is why I think they should leave it behind. Wait for it to come out with Lost Colony. Don't give it too soon because there's so much potential for you to do. There's ideas that you might figure out in the next 2 weeks, but if it's already out, then it's kind of cooked. We also saw that the pay for a TLC vote. It's happened, and there's a winner. The TZ kind of won, you feel me? And people are pissed because they're like, bro, this thing was rigged. And look, I love you, but they said Syntax rigged it. And honestly, I 100% agree. Bro rigged it. It is what it is. Like, let's put favoritism aside. It is what it is. Bro rigged it. Yada, yada. It is what it is. When you have a big platform like that and you're telling people your preference, when these people love you, bro, these people love you to death. They will ride for you, bro. If you tell them to jump off a cliff, at least 100 would do it. So you know what I'm saying? Like, they ride for you. So when you say something like that, it's obviously going to rig it. But the part of the conversation where I'm not happy with, because yeah, it was rigged. Yeah, we established that. The part that I'm upset with is the fact that people are saying it was rigged and the Theezy is a useless dino to give a TLC. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, gang. The Theezy is one of the biggest dinos that everyone uses. We use it for everything. Farming, killing, boss fights, cave runs, pocket dino, fiber gather. We use it for almost everything. So why the hell shouldn't it win? When you can get a dino that we use for everything, make it better, probably make it look better, then do it for like a Quetzal or a Giga that people don't really use anymore. Like, just because you make it shinier doesn't mean people are going to use it. Once a turd, it's always going to be a turd, bro. No matter how much you shine a piece of turd, it's going to be a turd. So why are we trying to say, oh, because the Theezy is already good, we can't make it better. We can't make it look nicer. We can't fix its mechanics, its animation. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, because it was rigged doesn't mean it wasn't the right choice. In my opinion, the Theezy was the right choice. I don't know about you. Hey, look, I don't know about you, but to me, the Theezy was the right choice. So even though it was rigged, I'm not too mad about it. Talk to me in the comments about it. With all of that being said, one of the founders, Jeremy Steiglitz, look, bro, if I butchered your name, look, allow me, bro. But he did say, in response to some of the question, my guy Raz Clark actually asked him, like, yo, big shout out to Raz, bro. You've been doing some great shit. Like, it is what it is, bro. Appreciate you. Big W's. Let's keep it going. Most of this information I got here, I did get from the PDF that Raz Clark put out on his Discord. You can read it yourself if you want to. But yeah, Jeremy came out and said that, hey, a lot of more dinos are going to be getting a TLC. At first, it's going to be mostly functional TLCs, things to make them work better right now with the Unreal 5 quality that we have right now, before they start looking at things like their designs and textures and things, which I get, because at the end of the day, we want them to function correctly before they look nicer. Because if they look nice but still function trash, it's like, it is what it is, bro. Like, that doesn't fix it, you feel me? So when they say functional, I understand that. And he said in the next year, like, there's no precise date, but there is a timeline in the next year and a half that we're going to be seeing things get TLC'd, which means, look, they're not forcing us to pay for them to do their job. They're actually going to do their job. I guess they went back to the drum board and were like, whoa, okay, announcing that we're going to TLC things without telling them we're going to TLC everything else, only if they do the extra life, was not the best idea. We should probably let them know that we're going to be TLCing everything else as well. We didn't forget about them, which is good. I feel like it answers the questions we had, like, why are you making us pay for you to do your job? This answered the question of, no, we're just doing it to see what we want to get done first. This is just first, but everything else is going to come along with the time, along with their time. So again, we can cut them some slack. One of the reasons why I was so mad at the whole extra life thing and the, like, no live stream was, this is one of the times where we get answers to questions that changes our minds and makes us say, oh, this is the reason behind this. Oh, this is why this happened. This is the time where we can cut them some slack. Even though we didn't get the live stream, we still got some answers, which is a really good thing. In accordance to this, a lot of people are actually looking at the Paleo Arc reskins and animation TLCs and saying, hey, Wildcard, you know the way you do the Garuga stuff where you're putting Garuga's dinos into the game? How about instead of you spending your time and efforts TLCing all these dinos, talk to the Paleo Arc team, cut a deal with them, cut a check here and there, and get their dinos as the new TLCs for the dinos that you want the TLC. The work is done. It's in the game already. You just need to give it the green light and we can literally get it in the game as soon as we say now, And I think that might be a good idea because there's some dinos on there that are like freaking fire. You feel me? They are fire. So if we can get them in, it will actually take some pressure off Wildcard. It will get something else that is fan made from our fan mod section, which is good. Always seeing people, creatives out there getting their things into the game is always good. That's going to build bonds with your player base. And it's going to build bonds with your modding community, which is going to be always great for the game. And it takes so much pressure off you to get things implemented, right? I think that's actually a really good idea. If they can actually just cut a check or like just do a deal, like it is what it is, just get that in, bro. Like you can fix some things without having to do too much. You feel me? In that collaborative spirit, we have also been told that a big collaboration is coming over. And this is one that actually makes sense to the Ark universe and the Ark players. And my brain is like, boy, oh boy. There is literally one franchise that hits the noggin, and that's just the Jurassic World. Like, it is what it is. If they can pull off a Jurassic World collab and get that in, there's only one way to do it. There's literally only one way to do it, guys. We have to say, screw skins, screw item skins, screw player skins, screw new items. We need a whole new Jurassic World map. One based around any or all the Jurassic World islands where all the parks were. And we need to add monuments and landmarks from the movies and the games. And we have to go to whole new lengths, new boss fights. I'm talking about new caves, new cave systems. Like, think about it. Imagine you're going into a cave. The first half, you're fighting your way through rooms, killing all the raptors and things like and after you do the first half, now you're outside and there's a freaking car. We have the battle rig. You have to get into that battle rig in 20, 30 seconds. And when you get into that battle rig, you're driving down this road and guess what? There's dinos chasing you. You gotta use your battle rig and shoot these dinos. There's rocks and things that you have to dodge. You have to freaking dodge falling rocks. You have to dodge rocks falling from the sides. While there's going to be someone driving, someone shooting the battle rig out there to keep the dinos off you. And when you get to the end, now you run through, kill more dinos, Rambo this, and then boom, at the end of the tunnel, there's the artifact. Pick up your artifact. Let's go. Let's get it. Boom. Whole new systems. We have so many things they can play around with, bro. Make things more interactive. We need more interactive caves, things that just make your mind be moving. You feel me? Like, we need it to be like an actual MMORPG cave and dungeons with different stages. We're missing stages in these dungeons. You feel me? So make the caves great. And then we do the similar things with the boss fights and we scale it. We get so many different boss fights. You have to go to a landmark to some of the boss fights. It's just, bro, there's so many things they could do to make this great. Like, look, Wildcard, I'm giving you the sauce here, bro. I'm giving you the sauce for free. And look, if you use the sauce, you might just say, yo, shout out to Steph, you feel me? He's a G, you feel me? Like, you gotta give me my flowers, you feel me? But people are also speculating games like Power World might be the collabs, Pokemon, Digimon, as the potential collabs. But one that really stuck in my head again when I was thinking more about it was like something that makes sense to the Ark universe. And I just thought to myself, Alien versus Predator. We have xenomorphs in the game. The game is about different legends from different timelines in the world, in the universe, being pulled out into Ark and have to survive. Who better to be pulled in from history than a predator? And we know predators have allegedly been on Earth along the centuries and the millennia. Why couldn't one of those predators be pulled into Ark? That would make sense. That would actually work. Predator tech. We already have shoulder cannons. We already have all the things we need, bro. We have the tech claws. We have camouflage. Do a collab with Alien versus Predators. Like, we have the tech. We have everything. All we need to do is just get that collab. And that's a big one that I'm actually really thinking about. I'm like, that could be it. If it's it, bro, I called it. No one ever said they called it. I called it. If that is it, I called it. You feel me? Looking at the list, realistically, I would actually rather the Jurassic World because it just makes sense. It's the best collab above all of them. And then games like Rust or DayZ as well, because if we're trying to bring that new zombie effect with the new Lost Colony and the NPCs, something like zombie related like DayZ would actually not be a bad shout. And Rust, again, these games are more in the realism realm that Ark wants to go into anyway. So I feel like those things are all in the running as well. But hey, look, we don't know yet. It's just there's a collab coming and we're going to have to wait to see what it is. Hopefully they don't do stupid stuff. Like, some of the stuff that's been going on, I've been seeing is just stupid and I don't want to talk about it or like on it because people like it. Some people like it. Hey, look, I like all the things in their own realm. In Ark, nah, not really. But yeah, let me know what collabs you guys would actually like to see. Ones that make sense in Ark as a big collab coming next year. The Genesis 1 creature winner is actually the giant octopus, the Paleo Octopus. This is actually going to be really cool. Like, it's going to be a really cool thing for the Genesis map. It also adds another potential water creature, which is always nice. And who doesn't want to ride a giant octopus, gang? Like, let's be honest. A giant octopus, that is crazy cool. And there's a lot of functionalities that it could have. People have put in so many different options. I'd like to see something maybe like a quick sink to the bottom of the ocean and you can crawl. Not the way octopus like go in their like tentacles and they get crawl across. Something like that. Or even a slingshot where they like suction down themselves and then they pull back and they just slingshot through the ocean floor. That would actually be really, really cool. Kind of like the slingshot that we have on the bog spiders. So I think that would actually be a really cool like thing. And I think they're able to come out of the water as well so they can suction and climb and things. So that's going to be really cool. There's a lot of potential there with that. And there's a lot of things they can do and add to it because there's a lot of new tech in the game. So I'm really actually looking forward to seeing that. Now to round it all off, we did see that Astrios is going to be getting an addition to its desert biome, and things are looking like they're in good stages and they could be close to release, you know? And I'm actually torn about the next little thing I'm gonna say here because it is what it is, but I can't just keep cutting them slack. I gotta be real with it, you feel me? Wildcard needs to let Nakatas do his thing. Stop overburdening him. Screw all the other maps that he has to do. Give him a team and let him go take care of Astrios. At first, it was like, okay, we're supporting the Cactus. Let's buy this map. Let's invest in this map because it's going to be good. It's going to be great. It's already great. I've already invested in it. At first, it was okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 months. Bro, it's almost half a year, gang. The map needs to be finished. Can we finish the map? You kind of sold a half-finished product. Imagine saying, okay, boom, or we're trying to make your car. No, actually, this is exactly like trying to buy a car. When you try to buy a car, yeah, okay, so you pick all your colors, all the palettes you need. Okay, nice. We're gonna make your car, and you call up a year later. Oh yeah, we need to put the wheels on. We haven't put the wheels on. We haven't done the interior yet, but the car's body, the chassis is made. What are you talking about? I need the car right now. You can't tell me it's gonna be finished soon and it's still not finished. Give Nakatas a team. Stop putting him under so much pressure. Let him finish the thing, bro. Let him do his thing. Let him do the thing, bro. Wildcard needs to literally fix up. Let Nakatas do his thing. Let him finish the product. Because at this point, it's no longer just a waiting game and we just keep cutting slack. No, we bought it. Finish it. Finish it, bro. It is what it is. We need it to be finished at this point. It's going on for too long. And he's working on it, but he's working on it with little time. We need to give him full time. Give the guy full time. Give him time. But yeah. Those are all the interesting, the big interesting things that I saw and I thought was, really good talking points and really good little nuggets of information that we got from the Extra Life and what Jeremy said in response to Rasklog. So there's a few things that are this is actually big for Ark, and Ark is gonna have a good future next year. And it's, again, a lot of good things do come out of Ark. It's just execution. Most of the problems with Ark is execution. If the execution was good, Ark wouldn't be really having these many problems. The fact that the execution is so bad is the reason we're having all these problems. But yeah, let me know what part of the information is the part that you're more tuned into, you want to see and you want to hear more about. What is the things that perked your interest for the next year? Don't forget, guys, look, if you liked all this information, if you liked the way it was delivered to you, if you liked the chat we just had, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.